Hey everyone, Sid Reisner here. Welcome to the next video in this series. The last video we talked about posture and how that is really making a difference between your success in terms of when you're presenting, getting in front of people, messaging people, in the approach of attracting people to your business. So I want to carry on with that thought and that topic actually a little bit, and I also want to share with you that it can be intimidating. It can be a big fear that surrounds this for a lot of people that have not been out, prospecting, recruiting, selling, speaking to people, right? For some of us, we come from a sales background or we come from some type of business background and we've learned this. But I guess it is important to remember that, we all started somewhere where we'd never done this before. And it is okay to fail. Okay, it is okay to get rejected. It is okay to get a no. You need to remember that because this is an ongoing skill. It's no different than anything else in your life. You're learning to play baseball, for example, and it's your first time up to bat. You get the bat in your hand, and and you're swinging at the ball and you're striking out. Well, the more chances and the more times you put yourself in front of that pitcher to swing the bat at the ball, the better you're going to get. Same thing with your golf swing. You learn some principles, you get some training, you got to be coachable, you got to adjust those mistakes. But the more that you practice and the more that you swing that golf club, the better you will get. And it applies to everything in life, guys. It doesn't matter what it is. It holds true with network marketing. So when you're out and you're building your lists, okay, and now you want to prospect and you want to share the excitement about what you're doing, and you're learning how to create that right posture and that positive energy, and you still get a no. Well, that's going to happen because remember, this is a numbers game. You're going to get lots of no's. No's are something you got to just embrace that and go, okay, that's just one more no that gets me closer to the yes. Okay. That's something that, again, I mentioned Brian Tracy in the last video. I learned that from Brian Tracy. Was one of the things too. He said to us in training, he said, a no is great. Don't be afraid of a no. In fact, welcome the no's, embrace the no's, because every time you get a no, you're one step closer to a yes. Now, I want to point out that, we talked about one of the key things when you start your business is to have a journal, right? So every time you get a no or a yes, you write that down in your journal. And when you get the no, try to identify why you got the no. Okay? And in fact, in many cases, you can ask the person, so, okay, I respect your decision to say no to this, but can you just share with me so I can learn from it, why? Why are you saying no? And ask them. Now, you might still get somebody that goes, yeah, I'm just not interested in telling you, Sid. But you will get some people that will honestly say, well, here's why. I'm saying no because of this. And it could have been a past experience. It could have been, they were dissatisfied with product. They got into a network marketing company before and they failed. They didn't make any money. They got misled. They felt that, it was a scam. Whatever. We've all heard this stuff, right? But it is great to get those no's because you learn from them. You write it down in your journal. You get those responses. And then you write down, how you could respond to that next time more effectively. You share that with your team. Share it with your teammates. Share it with your upline. Share it with your trainers, your coaches, your mentors. Because when you do that, you can say, hey, I did all these things. I thought I did the right thing. Then they still said no. And then they told me this is why. Well, you can, if you have that in your journal, you're able to share that. And now, trainers, upline leaders, people that are having success, they can respond to that and say, hey, well, maybe try this approach, or maybe you could have responded with this. Okay? So very, very important. And one of the key things that I'm going to talk about in this video here is be able to understand the principle of feel, felt, found. Okay? Feel, felt, found. Write that down. Okay? So when you're talking to somebody and they've got their defenses up, they've got their resistance up, they're kind of skeptical, you haven't got them excited about it, and they start to share some of those reasons with you. They say, I just feel this isn't right for me, or last time I joined one of these pyramid schemes, I didn't make any money. In fact, I spent all this money and then it went nowhere, right? Well, feel, felt, found, guys, because the best way to respond to that is to not get your back up, not get defensive in any way, but be empathetic, sympathetic, and understanding of what they're saying. And feel, felt, found is your best principal tool to apply in this situation, because you can turn around and say, I understand how you feel. And I can honestly say that because I was there. I've been through what you went through. I was in a company before that let me down. Things happened. My upline, wasn't great to work with. The products weren't great. Whatever the reasons be, we've all sort of been there in experiences, whether it was with a network marketing company in the past, or maybe it was a job that we were employed with in a company, a relationship, whatever. But we can put ourselves into that situation to understand the dissatisfaction and the mistrust or the apprehension or the skepticism, right? And so when we say, I understand how you feel, you get them on a ground of ease where they respect that you're listening to what they're saying. Next, you can say, I know exactly how you feel because I felt the same way, and you draw upon your own experience, okay? I felt the same way because I went through that with another company, or I went through that with my company that I worked for, or I kind of had the same kind of feeling in this relationship I was in, right? So feel, felt. Now the next one that will be the one that can turn it around is found. So I can say, I know exactly how you feel, I understand how you feel, and I felt the same way. But I have found with this opportunity and the people that I have joined forces with Mint, that this is different. It's truly different, and here's why. And here's why I believe this. Okay, so feel, felt, found. Real simple, real, good application to use this in every situation that you come across, because people respect when you take the time to listen. Be good listeners. Okay, don't just be a presenter pitching information and like a fire hose spitting out all this information on them, right? You want to find out about them, build the relationship, lead the relationship into the interest and curiosity about what you were doing, and then you can then take it from there to showing them a little bit about the opportunity, and then again, come back and talk about the interest and fortify that and get validation that they are ready and accepting to want to know more. And so in that whole process, and we're going to talk a lot more about all of this because these are things that are principles in terms of approaching people and understanding how to respond in that communication going back and forth. But you want to be able to understand where they're coming from, understand how they feel, identify your own experience, your own situation to relate to it, and then give them a different perspective based on what you have found. Okay, so feel, felt, found. Write that down. Think about it. If you want to talk more about that, you can message us on the thread that is tied to the Mint mindset training. And I believe that that is going to make a big difference in your approach and your ability to communicate with people when you are prospecting and presenting. Feel, felt, found.